Got my ex down and walking around with my hand on my cause I'm popping and I know you're not. And I know you see just how I'm living. You're not happy with life, so you rockin' Reeboks on treetops, getting guap. Got a big band, it's like Sasquatch. Every time you see it, with it, no, it's time.
I got that chicken to golf. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No court. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now a play fake here on first down. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. T.J. Watt in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Set!
Here's Barkley. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And it's third down. Now Barkley being chased out left. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. With it is Brown. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Carlos Dunlap, the defensive end, the one to bring him down.
Let's go, man.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Here we go. Snickers, 66. 8.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Hurry up, let's go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Corey Grant, his first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and that makes the score 7-0. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He completes it to Boyd. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Now, let's go. Go, Lanny. Go, Lanny. Detroit.
They're going to look to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. T.J. Watt in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Lucky 56. right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. T.J. Watt able to disrupt yet another pass play, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got him the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Let's go. Quarter.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Let's go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Vontaze Burfict, the one to get him down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger finding his safety valve here. That's complete. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And some room to roam now. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
It's not a bad idea. Set up in the gun. Send a bunch of guys out wide and let the defense think you're going to try and put one in the end zone. But here, the draw play just gets bottled up from the start, and he'll wind up losing yardage.
On second down, Roethlisberger. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. In for the score. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Boswell on now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now this time he'll look to throw. Flush, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Stephon Tuitt able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Well, you got a young quarterback. You know, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, it's Bell. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Making the play defensively, Carl Lawson. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Roethlisberger will stay out there, and they're going to go for it on fourth. They'll try and throw for it with Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. And connection number one there on the game, Roethlisberger to Boney Tony. Antonio Brown, that's what his high school teammates used to call him.
I wonder what they would call him now.
More muscular, more successful Boney Tony Brown, right?
I'd say you're probably right. It may be all of that. I'll still call him Boney Tony, but Ben Roethlisberger calls him my number one target.
They'll go back to the ground with Bell. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The Steelers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
The Steelers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Carl Lawson in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. On fourth down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Detroit! Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Over.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. The former Buckeye, Cameron Hayward. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. Detroit!
On play action, they'll throw. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Here's Kevin Huber now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Now Brown. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. To throw here, Roethlisberger. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
All right, now, lucky 56. Here we go now. 56. Green, 39. Green, 39. Gone. Over.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right. He's got it at the 15. And all the way down to the 5. A big play there just before halftime. 44 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. His pass caught at the 4. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Gun! All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw again. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Let's go. Snickers, 66.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Roethlisberger back into his end zone. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw now in his own end zone. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this 1st half. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. The Bengals getting set to go. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's Roethlisberger. This is Bell on the dump-off. Pushing his way through, and he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. He got 29 yards that time. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. Partner, I think the easy thing now would be to just abandon the run and start throwing the football at all costs. But I've been in so many games where it doesn't work running the ball, and then something pops, and now you get something going. I'm not so sure that just abandon your game plan this early in the second half.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. And the Steelers on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd down and 12. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He's going deep for Brown. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Now Barkley on the right side, caught by Green. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit! Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. All right, now, lucky Green, 56. 39. Lucky 56. Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
Here's Barkley. Underneath, this is Bernard. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. Give him 8 on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. He's got his man here. It's Green. And they're going to get the first down here as he's up to the 14. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. Now a toss play to Bernard. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. T.J. Watt in on the tackle. They're losing here in the 3rd quarter, maybe trying to get the ball outside, bust a big play. Obviously didn't work there.
Yeah, and while it didn't work, I really can't fault them for trying it. You and I have talked to the offensive coordinator, and we knew that was the place they wanted to try and go. And sometimes you just have to stick with it because 2-yard gains turn into 20-yard gains as the game goes along.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. T.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Let's take it inside his own 40. A good return there, 17 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself. 3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now it's Roethlisberger. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a third down. And that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. Roethlisberger now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
And Boswell's kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. A good pickup there at 22.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in the diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They'll go again with Bell. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And he missed it. He missed it just wide of that left upright. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
Detroit! All right, here we go. Blue 90! Watch it now, Barney! Detroit!
They'll set up to throw. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Cameron Hayward in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 16.
Gone! Hurry up, now, Barney! Blue 90!
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Buying time to his left, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Detroit! Hurry up, 3-19!
try it here. He's back to throw. Eluding the pressure. And he's going to go down again. T.J. Watt in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. Again, it's Bell. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Let's go.
On 3rd down, it's McBride. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. And Boswell's kick is good. And the lead now increases to 20-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Artie Burns, former 1st-rounder, there to break that one up. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90. All right, now, lucky 56. Blue 90. Lucky 56. Watch QB's off. Good.
Now back to throw. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. That one goes for 29 yards on third down. Around the NFL fourth quarter right now in Atlanta. And a 2-touchdown lead for the Buccaneers as they've just scored again. And if they could hold on to that lead, it would be win number 4 on the season for them.
Detroit! Gun!
Back to throw now on first down. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17.
Lucky 56. Gun.
They're going to look to throw. Flushed out right. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. So Charles are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an